I think it started out with mimicking. When I'd watch television, if I hear someone with an accent, I almost have to mumble it to myself to hear those sounds fall out of me. And so that started with me mimicking voices on the radio and from television. And then I would do those for my parents and they would giggle. And then my body would kind of light up. I felt it was a happy experience. And I also felt like a sense of purpose. And I was like, how can I morph this into something else?
My mother was smitten with show business. In those days, TV was getting started, and they used a lot of kids. There'd be these Christmas shows, Easter shows, Thanksgiving, and we did a lot of shows. My youngest brother was the most popular. He worked the most. And my older brother, Ken, he worked, and I didn't get that many jobs.
Why not?
If they gave me a line, I would forget it. I was always very nervous.
When did you cross over?
I've never crossed over.
You made a zillion films.
I know.
You won every award you could win.
It's just a kind of defiance.
I was putting on plays. I remember putting on this one play that was just black and white. So everything that was black and white in the house, I would bring over and put it on the set. And I would make my family watch me do nothing with these things, move around. I see my daughter doing it.
How did you end up there?
My parents, they went to see a show there. It was a dinner theater where they would have a little cabaret that would happen before the main musical. So you'd go there, you'd eat dinner, and then this Mickey Mouse Club type cabaret of kids would come on and perform. And so my parents went, and I think they were looking for some sort of outlet for me. I don't think they went to the show that night looking for an outlet for me, but it was on their minds. And I know that there had been some suggestions of maybe medication for their hyperactive child and whatnot, and they saw this junior troupe performing. And my mom said that they both just looked at each other and they said, Audra, maybe this is something she could do.
When I was about 7, my mom got the name of this kids' talent agency and took us all there. I was, of course, pumped, And the only person that they wanted out of all of us was my older brother, Adrian. And I was just devastated. I mean, I was...
You want him?
Yeah, I know. I was like, that guy? What does he have that I don't have? And I think my mom just saw that I was crushed. And she said to me, is this really something that you really want to do? And I'm like, yes. And I started auditioning. Yeah. That's how it started.
This guy says, hey, do you want to be in this movie? And I said, what I got to do? He says, do you want to be an extra?
You said, what's an extra?
Extra what? Can you act like a convict? And it was kind of a joke, I thought,
He said, I went to school for that.
Yeah, I said, I'm a professional. And so they give me a blue shirt, and I took off my shirt. I have that big tattoo. When I saw that tattoo, he goes, hey, wait, hold on. And he goes like this. Now, I don't know that's framing the shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what gang sign is that? But by the grace of God, my whole life changed.
If you had wanted, at the age of 18 or 19, like many of my guests, to go straight to Broadway, would your parents have had a heart attack?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mine would have too.
Yes. I mean, even after college, when I was pursuing this career, making ends meet, being an extra on movie and television shows, I didn't tell my parents what I was doing. I didn't want them to have to worry about me or in any way discourage me.
I was thinking the latter. They would have said, are you crazy? How do you say, are you crazy in Korean?
미쳤어?
I think that when you grow up in poverty, nobody's trying to repress anything. Everything is right out in the open, all the mess, all the spew. And so it becomes a right sort of fertile ground for an actor to observe human behavior.
A laboratory for human nature.
Absolutely.
Right there in living color in your living room.
I couldn't pay the tuition. Our family didn't have my father's bursary with his government job. And I don't know, rules changed, and I was crestfallen.
Yeah.
But I picked up the Yellow Pages. I remember having seen a public access commercial for a local school in Seattle called Cornish. And it had ballerinas and people with painting brushes and guys with turtlenecks and, acting and skull, like that. And I went, hang on, I got the last audition that Labor Day weekend. And I had no idea that I would have been accepted, but for the phone call I made the following weekend morning, whether it was after that Labor Day weekend, I didn't know if I'd been accepted because they hadn't got around to shuffling the papers. So I called the office and said my name, and they said, can I help you? I said, I just want to know what's the status of my application. And they went, hang on. So I heard the phone go, and then somebody went, file cabinets opening and closing. Someone came back and just come, oh, yeah, you're in. Can you be here at 9 o'clock for orientation? So we were off to the races.
And I remember he came up, the first productions I ever had was a messenger in Much Ado About Nothing. And unfortunately, I had an entrance through the theater down the aisle, and they taught me how to stand and all that. And I ended up standing right by my father's aisle. And I had a messenger speech, and they taught me how to stand up. My lord, and bowed and went out. And the whole audience said, what did he say? What did he say? And Dad, afterwards, Michael said, you were terrible. You were just terrible. And he, in hindsight, he was so relieved. He said, oh, God, I don't have to worry about my son thinking about being an actor,
I just hated school. School had nothing for me, and my sister was great at it, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And Bob Condor was the guy who did the local plays at the youth center, and the play we were doing was Carousel.
Wow.
And Bob sat there, and all of us 13 to 17-year-olds sat here. And he said, what's the play about? We all raised our hands. About a guy makes a mistake, about a guy gets a second chance, about a guy goes to heaven, about a guy, about a guy, about a guy. And he said, I think you're all right. I think it's about all those things. He said, I also think it's about something else. I think it's about if you love someone, tell them. And that's what I did at that moment. I went, oh, my parents were good people. They said good things at the dinner table. The rabbi made interesting sermons, but I never heard anything so simple and available.
Right.
And I said, if that's what this thing called theater can do and say, I'm going for the ride.
To see more incredible family history stories, click here. And thank you for watching.